So, first blog was a little low energy. It was a little too scatterbrained. That's because I want to make videos, but I don't like recording myself. So, I'm gonna try and do it as if you were actually here standing right in front of me. And also I'm gonna do it with a tiny mic because the other one's way too bulky and hard to set up and it's annoying. So, trying to get rid of as many annoying things that might be stopping me from wanting to do this because I really want to do this. I'm just not good at it. Alright, I tried for the first time to do a little bit of a script for this one, so hopefully the ideas will be a little bit more, they'll make a little bit more sense. Starting over, I realized that I never actually talked about what the SKYLARK Guide to Adventure was. So, what is a SKYLARK Guide to Adventure? To abbreviate as much as possible, it is a dungeon crawling role-playing game. Think the unholy combination of games like D&D and Pathfinder with games like Gloomhaven. So you have some of the role-playing aspects of a regular TTRPG in a more arcadey, video gamey way, like a dungeon crawler, made specifically to be easy to play. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of systems and features here that, of course, will be easier for a seasoned board game player to understand than a newbie, but I've spent about a year now building the rules to be as intuitive and concise as possible. And so far, through testing, the average time it takes a player to make a character is about an hour, and this is testers reading the rules for the first time and getting to the point where they are ready to start combat. Now, with that out of the way, why should you specifically, be interested in this game? I don't know. Well, if you like action adventure games of any kind, be it video games or board games, I am making this game for you. Originally, I wanted to make just a role-playing game. Think again, D&D, because that's the one that everybody knows, for better or worse. And I love combat in those games for the imaginary aspect of them, but they tend to be kind of clunky and a little unbalanced. Hey, Editing Rage here. When I say unbalanced, I don't mean a mechanical imbalance of one class being stronger than another. I mean a fun imbalance, as in some class archetypes are just more fun than others. That's what I meant. Especially towards what a newer player would be more inclined to choose. It's sort of like if you pick the more interesting options as a new player, you're gonna have just a much harder time learning the game. Whereas if you play, say, a martial option, you're just gonna have less options during combat in general. It's just kind of gonna boil down to hit stuff. Which, fun, but mechanically kind of uninteresting. Without mentioning slow. Disclaimer, not all games are like this. A lot of people do it in very inventive ways, and I like it, especially when you add homebrew rules. You know, stuff can get a lot more dynamic, but again, that's homebrew and that's really up to your party and how you play with your friends. It's harder to put that stuff in rules because, you know, you can't really, because, you know, not everybody likes to play the same. Some people don't like turns. I understand that. I can see it. Anyway, tangent aside. So then, why did I choose to turn it into a dungeon crawler? Well, when I was brainstorming ideas for what the game was going to be like, at the very beginning of, let's call it, pre-production, I kept thinking to myself, well, asking myself, the same couple of questions. And one of those, if not the most important one at the very beginning, was, what is it that stops people from trying new games? And I landed on two answers. First, I think that's not a good thing for British people. Sorry about that. Two answers. First, have you ever looked at the rulebook for one of those big tabletop RPGs? Aren't they kind of big? Yeah, they are kind of big. And a lot of people I know have always said the same thing whenever someone suggests learning a new system. I don't have the time to learn. Those books are enormous. They're a couple hundred pages to even begin to understand how to make a character, and much less to start playing. Some of those rule books sometimes don't make it easy for you to put two and two together and understand how the entire rule set works. So you end up having to go back and forth, reading rules again and again. Makes it so that a 300-page book is now 500 pages because you've had to read the same couple pages a few extra times for good measure, because, you know, that's just how it is. So yeah, time. It takes a lot of time to learn some of these rule sets. The second reason I found is because usually when someone in a friend group suggests playing a new game, it's probably because they want to play it. But kind of the way it works out is, if you're the one to bring the game to the friend group, you're very likely to end up being the one running the game, aka not really being a player in the game. And that can be a big reason for a lot of people not to try games they want to try, or to not try them with their friends, because even though they might find somewhere where they can be a player, if they bring it to their friends, they're gonna have to end up being forever the M of the group. So I was thinking about that, and then I remembered playing Kingdom Death Monster, and then I remembered playing Mansion of Madness, and then I remembered more games where the DM is a scripted scenario with sometimes multiple choice options, and then just bam, make it a dungeon crawler. I mean, sure, they might not really be known for great storytelling. That is not a diss on them, that is just that sometimes the focus is the combat, you know, and the scenarios, while interesting and well written, maybe don't put an emphasis on telling a story rather than giving you scenarios to kick ass. It won't be as flexible as having a game master, simply because a piece of paper can't improvise. But if a video game can give you a meaningful story with meaningful choices, a board game should also be able to. It might just take a lot of writing. Don't worry, my tabletop RPG players, I fully intend to give you all the tools necessary so you can run your own games if you want to. I myself enjoy being a game master, so having the tools to do so available would be great. I'm thinking about doing it as a supplement to the core game, but a part of me wants to give it away for free. We'll see who wins between me and Business Rage, but honestly, I'm very lenient to just making it like a free PDF on my website. You know, give you guys a reason to go to the website. Did you know I have a website? You should go check out the website. There's merch in it. Although I gotta put some more work in. I need to update the portfolio and move some other stuff around. But tangent. Yeah, that's all I have for today. Just wanted to tell you guys, just wanted to make sure that what the game is came across. I am not great at explaining what it is, simply because, again, scatterbrain. I can't really, it's hard to sometimes exactly this. I'm not a great talker. Yeah. Next time I do one of these, I'm hoping to do maybe backgrounds, just a video dedicated about how backgrounds work in the game. I want to do videos about races, classes, and such, so look forward to that. I just feel like the first video wasn't very clear about exactly what the game is, and I hope this one is. So yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out, giving me company. I really do appreciate it every single time, and I will catch up with you guys later. Consider supporting me on Patreon. That is how the game is getting made right now. It's way too early to be going on Kickstarter, so consider it. I stream on Twitch. I upload the VODs here, so if you want to see those too. And yeah, so follow me on social media. Blah, 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 blah. Have a good one. Good night.